Hi guys, I'm Miss Adrian. Today I'll be hosting our first VBest Talk Show featuring 3 handsome guests, which are at the same time our VBest Top tutors. Okay, so we'll get started with some introduction, including their names and the subjects they are teaching for now. Okay, let's start with Mr. Edison.
Hello guys. My name is Edison. I'm teaching in IGCSE Physics and Economics. So I also teach A-level for Economics as well. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Desmond. I'll be teaching Physics and Mathematics in IGCSE, and I also teach A-level Cambridge Physics.
Oh, wow.
Mr. Chin?
Oh, hi guys. Yeah, I'm Chin. So basically, I'm an all-rounder. Oh my gosh. I teach chemistry, bio, physics, maths, and maths. I'm lifeless, guys. A-level and OSMAT, that's it. Yeah. Yes.
IB also.
Oh, and also IB, Chem, and Physics. Guys, don't be like me. I'm lifeless. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on, shall we?
Okay, a quick add-on. I was teaching IG, Business, Econs, and also Accounting at the same time, A-level Accounting. Okay, so today the main reason that we are all here is to actually discuss about, A-levels, preview courses, the challenges, and some tips and experiences from the tutors, okay? So the first question, let's discuss, okay, can each of you suggest one factor, okay, that a student should consider before deciding which preview courses to actually enroll in? Want to get started first?
I think Chin has his opinion.
Okay, so maybe I can get started first. Okay, so guys, let's say after you graduate from your IG, right? So the first thing that you need to consider is, are you going to pursue into a science course, science-based courses, or you are not going to continue a science journey? So let's say if you guys are going for business, finance, accounting and all, okay, I would not recommend you guys to go for a very, very competitive degree. Okay, sorry, competitive foundation. Okay, so for example, A-levels, let's say if you want to go into competitive U, like Ivy Leagues, let's say if your goal is to get into uni in UK, in US, like those Ivy League, Oxbridge, like where else, King's, Imperial, oh my god, what's the
LSE.
LSE, yes, correct. Yeah, the LSE, right? Yeah, right. I think econs is very popular. A lot of the kids want to get in LSE. I think A-level and IB is a very good choice because I do have students coming from A-levels after they get a very brilliant result, like 4 A stars and IB or grade 7, then they get to have one interview session with the uni. Then in which, right, they actually stood a chance to get into the top uni. Okay, but let's say if you are about to settle in, maybe your plan is not to go overseas, maybe you want to stay in local, go for Monash, go for Nottingham or another few uni in Johor, so you can actually consider OSMAT. Okay, let's say if you want to go Australia, OSMAT is the best. It's 1 year, but you need to go through the entire year of grinding because you have multiple exams gonna hit you hard. Yeah, you need to study a lot, prepare for the exams. That is not something that, in terms of stress, OSMAT is really kind of stressful. Yeah, but let's say if you are going for a local U or you are going for some other U, you can actually consider some foundation. Yeah, so I would say conclusion-wise, let's say if you want to go for competitive, A-levels, IB is the best, like the best out of the best. Yeah, so that's all for me. Maybe we can have some opinion from Des and Edison.
Okay. From my opinion, because when you guys are choosing what to pursue after your IGs, there are many paths. Like what Mr. Chin said, we have IB, we have A-levels, we have like MAFI, we have like OSMAT and stuff. So first of all, you need to determine yourself whether you are going for like science stream or art stream, like what Mr. Chin have said. So if let's say you have you really have no any ideas like whether are you pursuing what degree in future, so I think you have to go for like science stream because you're gonna have more options after doing science subjects. So instead, if you don't know, you choose for art stream, and in futures you want to do engineering or doctor, you will have no choices for it after that. So have to consider it well for now. Yeah.
Well, bro, they basically just finished everything.
Sorry. I think they're talking in terms of like more on science, right? Because you're presenting
You're the LSE guy.
Maybe we think about this one like, okay, so A-level, if you want to study A-level, IB, these are competitive A-levels, the first thing is your mentality, I have to say. So different, man. So different. And I think AS is quite easy. If you're taking IG and you're getting like straight A star, straight A, AS is, I think it's just easy, 40% harder than IG. But when all the way to A2, you just like, what is happening? It's like, what is happening, bro? And then you just, everything just happened, okay? And then, oh yeah, speaking of which, you also need to identify like mentality is one thing, another thing is the time frame. We have like 18 months, 20 and 22 months. The kind of things that you also need to decide. So my personal opinion, I think 22 months will be the best if you are going for competitive university, because you need to have time to do a lot of voluntary job and so on. So yeah, I mean that's basically for me.
Okay, so in terms of real teaching experience, since okay, most of us are like teaching A levels for now. So do you have any like very very significant experience from your past students or current students in terms of the challenges that they're facing and how do they overcome from it?
We anti-clockwise this time.
Just now you
clockwise, anti-clockwise, yes.
Okay. Let's start with the most extreme one, so which is the best and the worst, the one that I encountered. So the best one, I think there's nothing much as a tutor should worry, because they do their job, they do their homework, they do their revision. When they do class with us, especially as in like private class, they prepare everything. They have all the list of questions to ask us. Just very well prepared. His time management is very good as well. 4 subject, 4 A-star. So I talk to them, I ask them like, hey bro, how can you manage your time? They just say that, well, just plan it nicely. Just
discipline.
Yeah, there's an extreme case. I do not have anything to worry about it. I just solve their problem one by one. That's it. So the worst one will be like those that are struggling very badly. They don't even get maybe like 1 or 2 A in IG. So, but then they do not know what to study. So they need to choose A level, because A level is for those who do not know what to study, where to study, which country to study. So then the parents just say that, oh, go and take A level us. Right. So then when they go to A level, it's like, oh my gosh, what is? So AS, they're already GG. If you AS, you're already GG. I think A2, there's no hope. I think it's okay. It's not like no hope. We do have cases like, okay lah, to be honest lah. If let's say they're really like GG, and then they probably will retake lah. From my experience,
probably they will retake AS and only go for A.
Together with A.
So have you guys encountered any student change courses or subjects during the?
A lot. But I have students who have retake his physics. I mean, before enrolling to our tuition, he has already retake his physics 2 times. This is his 3rd time.
Wow.
And I hope
The
he has
persistence, guys, is
um,
real.
So he recently just joined us. I think back 2 months.
Okay.
And I hope he can do well for his AS exam. So
We're pretty sure under Mr. Desmond's guidance, right? He'll
Yes.
probably strive in the subject.
hopefully.
A level is a bit, we also know that somehow tutor probably like contribute 40 to 50%, and then 50 is the students.
There's a lot of practice they need, I would say,
Exactly.
in AS level and A2 level. So students always think that, my IG scores very well, and when it comes to AS, it's like, teacher, I can do it lah. I study last minute like for my IG.
That doesn't
And then
apply,
AS
right?
level, I think I'm gonna do it last minute also.
That
doesn't apply, bro.
guys.
Because in A level courses, there are so many chapters, and all of them are in depth. There's a lot of formulas and things that you need to know, and you need to learn how to apply it into questions. Very different. So that's why, I mean, in your uni, in your college, when you guys are doing your AS, before even you finish sitting AS, your lecturer will be starting A2 already.
Exactly.
Same goes to us as the tuition teachers.
Exactly.
Because the syllabus is so long, there's so many things to cover, and we need to practice a lot. And I believe as A-level teachers, we have provided a lot of extra classes for them in order to practice and stuff. So
I see them a lot. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so do you guys think, right, it's very important, to take a subject that you're stronger in during IG, during A levels? Like, do you think it's a very important factor to consider that?
Actually, I think it's very, very important. Like, for example, let's say if a student come to me, like whenever they are not so sure what subject to take, right? So the first thing I will ask them is, can you show me your IG result? So because from the IG result itself, right, we can tell a lot from the student. Like for in a science perspective, right, so because we have bio, chem and physics, I think when in IG, right, it's somehow still manageable. I think IG is somehow still manageable. Although despite that you hate the subject, like let's say if you point of effort, you can still do it. But in A level, it's totally different game now. It's like, I would say, for example, chemistry, I think physics also, it's very, very different. Yeah, so let's say if you, for me, let's say if you really don't like a subject, for example, A levels, you just need a minimum of 3. Yeah, you just need a minimum of 3. But I will always ask my students to go for 1 more. as a safeguard, as a last resort. Let's say if you ever screw up one of the subject, you still have one of it to back you up. So for example, I think maths is definitely a must. Like in terms of sciences, please, let's say if you are a science person like me, I just love science. So you can go for all. But let's say for example, guys, I think most of the guys, they don't like bio. Like bio is the least favorite for all the guys. And unless you want to be a doctor or you want to go into medicine, then yes, you can consider bio, or else you can consider like physics. I think most of the guys love physics, right? Oh my god, physics is the best. Yeah, like you learn about astrophysics, oh, it's so fantastic. Chemistry is also quite fun. Yeah, then also you can let's say if you are for example, you love econs or you love accounting, then you can take up econs. I'm not so sure about A-level econs. Like, is it a lot of writings also, right?
A-level econs. Okay, you think about it. You write your answer already, and then you want to check your mark scheme. Mark scheme, and then you check the mark scheme.
Nothing. Yes.
And then they say that okay, 25 marker, 20 marker, 13, 12 marker. Look at it. 40% of the page. And then they ask you for 25 marks. So they are like, okay, first thing, sure, I have done it. I don't know how to check.
Yeah.
Look at the mark scheme. I don't know what they say. So it's just like so hard to self-study for econs. Just that's the reason. And especially for students who is very bad at English, econs is a no.
Yeah. So I think in your IG result, actually it predetermines a lot. Let's say if for example, if your English, like what Edison said, if English and econs is not as good, right? Like please don't challenge yourself. It's like, oh, I'm up for the challenge, guys. No, let's say
you can do it lah, but you still can
try, but yeah,
you will end up in a very bad shape, right? I think.
Stress.
I think strong subjects in IGs will be benefit students who are taking the same subjects. But if let's say it really doesn't matches what you want, like if you are very good in arts like econs and business, but you wanted to be a doctor, then no choice, you still have to go for sciences. But you have to put more effort. Compared to IGs, you need a lot of effort.
Okay, one more thing to add on, since a lot of schools, right, not offering economics, right, during IG, not all the schools provided that. Yeah. But are there like still students taking up econs in A-levels, and how do they cope with it?
There's a lot. Okay, so there's a lot. So if let's say you took IG, econs, your AS would be very cheap. You just like 40% extra, and you just need to write more. That's it. So it's quite manageable, I would say. But when it comes to A2, everyone is just like same level. So you just same level. So if you didn't take IG econs, you will find it hard. Confirm. I mean, common sense, right? Confirm you find it hard. It's manageable. Just that. You know, just now I say that we have extreme cases, good and very bad. Those students who fail 2 times, 3 times, AS fail, A2 fail, then we take one together, they also can do it. 2A. So it's achievable. Everything is achievable. Everything is impossible. Everything is possible.
I'm like,
everything is possible as long as you want to do it.
Yeah, true. Actually, true. Yeah.
So it's always advisable to retake the subject if you didn't do well in AS.
Back to the objective, right?
Yeah, back to your objective. Like if you're going for like competitive
I would say sometimes, let's say for example, right, like whenever my students screw up, actually after AS we can tell a lot. Like usually after AS, right, I will always text my student. Okay, especially those kids that underperform. So I'll say, hey guys, this is a very serious issue. We need to talk. So usually I will invite them in a Zoom, like one-to-one. I will be like asking them, hey, what you want to study next time? Let's say if he tell me, Cher, my mother, I want you to do medicine. Oh my god. Then it's like, guys, you die also, you please go and retake. But let's say if you tell me, Cher, actually not really lah. I might go for engineering, or maybe I end up in some Monash. I want to go Monash. Monash is very good. And my parents love Monash. I'm like, oh, let's say if you get a B. I'm like, why not? Just don't stress yourself. Like, because A2 is equally important. Like, let's say if you stress too much on AS, and let's say if you retake AS and A2 together, I think you guys have past experience, right? It's not gonna end up so well, right? Yeah. So I would say it depends. It's actually, I would say very. It depends on each and every student. Yeah. So it depends on what they want to do in the future, what course they want to pursue. Yeah, that is a very key factor.
Then eventually it just depends on some course. Sometimes you take up the things and then you do like 1 year already. You feel like, well, if I give up, I wasted like 1 year. Frankly speaking,
that's why sunk cost policy. So you can talk about that sunk cost policy, guys.
Somehow it just depends on what's your objective, I would say. Because AS is really, really tough. And then if you stop halfway, you will identify very quickly, to be honest. Like the first AS you already know, or probably half of the AS you already know that, oh my god, it's not happening. So you can make up your mind by the time. So I would just say that you can just try whatever you want, but you can always change the course. don't like.
Yeah.
I mean, talk to them.
Yeah,
Talk to
talk to your parents, talk to your teacher. I mean, like, don't stress yourself so much because
very stressful.
yeah, this is just part of your life journey. Like, it's not your fault. Maybe that is just not meant for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can always try to talk it out. Yeah, try to talk to your teachers.
Everyone-
I mean, like, yeah, a lot of the students also always talk to us. Hey, chill, very stressed. It's okay.
But I think they stress because they say like, oh, my friend graduated and stuff. But to me, it's like everyone
like
has their
people
time zone.
Yeah.
Take your time, figure out what you love, what you want to do, and you persuade for it.
Yes, there's no rushing, right?
Yeah.
And everyone is different pace also.
We have students graduate like 25,
And
26,
after
40.
they are already 1 year younger, right?
Yeah.
Like you guys are from IG background. Compared to SPM, they already 1 year.
Yeah, you guys
Like,
already
what's
1
the
year younger.
rush? Like, guys, please don't rush. Like, A level, I think from actually right every time during a new batch, right, I always tell my students, A level is not a course for you to rush. Yeah, if you want to quick done, get things done, definitely not A levels, right? Yeah, because
foundation is faster.
Foundation is faster. If you want to get things done quickly, please, A level is never the right choice for someone that want to like speed run the entire course. It's never possible unless you are prodigy, child prodigy, born different, built different. Then maybe
Unless you're really disciplined
Yeah,
to practice every day at
like
home.
don't ever opt for any fast track, or if you are taking 4 subjects, fast track. I cannot imagine.
Very stressful.
It's very stressful, guys.
Very stressful.
Yeah, my golden word is please, if you are going for A level, don't rush. Yeah, take it slow and steady. Yeah, it's like running a marathon. Eventually you reach there.
Exactly. So
The
if you don't
objective
feel
as well,
ready, you don't rush that. Okay. If you don't
yeah.
feel ready, you can actually delay.
Mm.
You doesn't have to like rush with your friends. You don't have to compete, right?
Mm.
Okay. So our next question, right? Okay. Since Chin is teaching so much, OSMAT, MAFI, IB and A levels. Okay, some of the students are wondering, right? How do you rank the difficulty? Of course, I think A levels comes first, lah.
Mhm.
Okay, so what comes later?
Actually, in terms of so from my perspective, right, A levels, okay, because I'm currently teaching A level camp, IB camp, OSMAT camp. So each one of the courses, right, they have their own struggle. So for example, let's say if we rank the syllabus wise, like just the syllabus, I mean like IB and OSMAT is not really as difficult as A levels. A levels content, first, very difficult. Second, usually they always upgrade the syllabus. They always update it. So you guys are learning the
More and more latest
yes,
ones.
the latest stuff. And don't ever practice like 200 past year, 200 past year. You need to study according to the syllabus. Yeah, that is one of the key for A levels. In terms of course wise, okay, syllabus A level is definitely the hardest. Then IB is training for you to be an all-rounder. Yeah, for IB, in terms of examination, it's relatively easier than A levels. Content-wise, maybe 60% of A levels, but okay, you need to do a lot of experiment. Okay, they have a lot of IA, like they need to do a lot of lab work with no guidance, zero guidance. So recently, my student just did, for example, like physics. They did some what is it called? The parabolic motion.
Projectile motion.
Projectile motion. Yes, I forgot. Yeah, projectile motion. So the entire lab report is about projectile motion. Then the teacher never give any guidance. Just say you go and think about a real life example. So my student came up with how to use projectile motion to score a penalty goal because it's the World Cup season. Then no guidance, nothing given. So you need to write a report, 24 pages. You need to write it like a professional paper. It's very difficult because they have no experience in writing a full lab report. At the same time, they have a lot of lab work going on. IA is the hardest. So if you love writing and you love lab report, like actually research, IB is the best. And IB, I would say, let's say if you want to go US, IB is actually better because they are training you as all-rounder. You are good at writing, good at answering. Then OSMAT, right? OSMAT in terms of syllabus-wise, it's relatively easier. But the thing is, the amount of exam they have, right, is crazy. Like every 1 or 2 months, exam.
Weeks.
We are talking about weeks, guys, not months, right?
Because you have some
Yes.
subjects, 5
Subjects,
subjects, 4 subjects.
And
then
everything is
every
compounded. Yeah, everything is compounded.
Very nice.
Eventually, it will contribute to the final. It's not like A level 1 exam determines your final grade. Okay, OSMAT is continued persistence. Yeah, continuous persistency. You need to contribute 5% every single week. Yeah, that is what causes the stress. So in terms of stress-wise, OSMAT is kind of stressful. Yeah, but syllabus-wise, it's okay. But you need to deal with exams. Like continuously, someone will be pushing you behind. Like guys, study. Yeah, that's OSMAT. I think
Wow, that sounds very
yeah, that's just from my perspective. Yeah, I think you also have some OSMAT.
If I think for econs almost the same thing. A levels are hardest, and then followed by IB. Also got a lot of essay. They need to study what is happening around the world, and then we have Excel as well. Excel, I think Excel is kind of easy, as in they have more resources. The answer is also given. Econs, we care about the essay answer. Right? Yeah, Excel given. IB no, A level no. OSMED, oh my gosh.
Never talk about OSMED.
Okay, I don't really like it. Is because there's no fixed structures. Every year they are changing. For example, like let's say economics, inflation rate, it can change, and then their objective might change. So you need to study and up to date. But resources wise also okay. Everything can get online, and then I would say OSMED is more about technique. I'm not so sure about the other subject.
To be honest, OSMED it is like you need
Technique?
to meet your
answer
lecturer
have to be
need. Your answer have to be. The thing is, right, for OSMED, throughout the years, right, I realized one major difference is the keyword.
Yeah,
like you have to write according to your lecturer's keyword. Like your lecturer say ABC, you must follow the sequence A, B, C. You cannot say CPA, PAC. Nope, it's not acceptable.
More like technique now.
It's more like technique. The technique is very important. OSMED is about technique.
Wow. So you guys can notice, right? Actually, every course, every pre-year course has its own challenges. So it depends like how do you deal with it and what is the technique and you counter with it. Okay, so a quick question for Desmond, right? Since you're teaching physics, right? Okay, so how do you actually compare like the difficulty level from IG, the big jump from IG to A level?
I would say in terms of the content is about the same, but in depth they learn a lot. Like let's say we talk about like speed, time, distance. In IG we just learn linear motions, but in like AS we're going to learn projectile motions. In A2 we learn circular motions. So it's going more and more deeper, but the content's about the same, just that the formulas are a lot. In AS it's still okay. Everyone will be like, I want to prepare a lot for AS and study a lot for AS. And then neglect about their A2. The time when you're preparing your AS exam, towards the exam, you still have to go practice and start to revise. Start to do and start your A2 lah, because it's gonna be a lot of chapters in A2 and a lot of new things that added in, especially for Cambridge A levels. They added in new topics, new subjects, and the resources online are very limited. Your astrophysics, space physics, that's very limited. There's no past years to refer. So that's mainly based on what you can research and what you can search from online. It's very limited lah, I would say. So from IGCSE, they have also upgraded the syllabus. So I would say the chapters are about the same, just that the difficulty is getting more and more. From IG to AS is about like 30 to 40% more harder. And from AS to A2 is about also like 50-60% more harder. But A2, a lot of chapters. Of course, they don't ask everything in the exam. But you as a student, you need to know everything.
True.
Makes sense.
Okay. So actually we gathered some questions on Instagram, okay, from some of our students. Okay, so there's one question, okay, asking about the advantages between A levels and foundation. To be honest, they are very different, right? Okay, in terms of the duration, the difficulty level. What other differences, like, okay, how do you choose, like, other than let's just ignore about the factor about the fees, the duration, how does a student choose between them?
Go first.
Yeah, go for you. Clockwise.
Yeah, clockwise. Clockwise now.
I think objective lah, I would say. If let's say you just don't want to stress, you just to get one thing about it, where you want to work in the future. Speaking of, nowadays our currency is going bad, go down so bad. So a lot of students they start to say that look at the Singaporean dollar, look at the USD. So of course you are using some Malaysian certificate, university graduate, even though from UM. It's not so competitive. In Singapore, yes, probably still can. I heard that if you become a garbage man in Singapore, you can earn 10K.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Like 10K Singapore dollar?
No,
Malaysian ringgit. Wow.
That time I went, just a side note, that time I went Singapore, right? So I was in a cafe, like a normal kopitiam. So I was eating there because my girlfriend is going to work in Singapore, right? So I was like, hey, you guys hiring? Then the fellow just come to meet me. Do you want to work here? We're actually hiring someone to wash plate. I'm like, me?
Wash plate.
Legit, on the spot, I was being interviewed. Like, you want to wash plate? How much is salary? 3K SGD.
I saw that in the article. I'm not sure whether it's true or not.
He is trying to recruit me, guys. Like 3K SGD.
That's 10K from your country?
Yeah, like you from Malaysia, right? 3K SGD. You can start tomorrow. You want to wash plate here? I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to have a meal here, man. Yeah, it's so
And then doesn't need any qualification, right?
Exactly.
So exactly what Mr.
Yeah,
Anderson
what
said,
Mr.
like if you're going for like abroad, you need to have A levels as an international certificate to entry to
That is very important.
unis in other nations.
I mean, just like you have you graduate from UK, US, Singapore, you just give you the golden ticket to go everywhere.
Actually, true.
So that's the thing. And the second thing is how much you want to stress yourself. To be honest, from economics perspective, I think A level A2 is almost like degree year 1 to year 2 already.
Yes.
Exactly. I mean, they are not like 100%. It's just like you need to touch the concept. They don't ask you to do it, but you need to like touch it. So if you finish your A level, I can quite sure that your first year will be very chill.
Yeah.
Because I see all my ex-students, they are like very chill.
Exactly, yes.
Visiting museum.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
just go have
Chilling
fun.
around,
Yeah,
just
because A level is really hard. So foundation is just fast track. You take 8 month foundation, and then depends on your degree. It's just very fast. Some of them 21 years old already graduate.
Yeah.
So some of them then they say experience is more than qualification.
Correct.
At the end, depends on your objective level.
So basically in foundation, you will just learn basics of your chosen field. Okay, and also you learn on like specific subject if you're very sure what you want to do in for your major, correct or not? Okay, now another next student, right? Next question, right? A student is asking about, is it possible to get like 4 straight A star or not?
Yes,
Of course.
there is.
We have how many? We have a lot, right?
Yeah, there is.
I mean,
In VBest tuitions, we have a lot for A stars.
I'm not trying to be like very
Promoting.
boasting ourselves, but to be honest, it's definitely achievable. Yeah.
But it's all depends on your own effort, I would say.
Persistency,
That is-
determination.
Yes.
Determination, guys. Like your willpower has to be very strong. If you want that, you must put in the effort.
Normally, the
Everybody
students
is
who are able to score like 4 A stars, straight 4 A stars, they are usually those students who can prepare ahead before the class start. They go through the notes, they come to class, they ask what they want to ask. Not coming here, teacher, what do you want to teach today? Teacher, can I know what we're learning today? Teacher, I don't know this, but how? No. They come here, they already know what they should ask because you guys are paying for the tuition fee. No matter you're paying to uni, you're paying to college, paying to us, you paid for it. You ask for what you want. You ask
A
us.
specific question.
Yeah,
So
specific
it's not,
question.
I don't know this. I know.
Yeah. I don't know this chapter. How to do?
But what is the thing? I
Yeah.
mean, I don't understand the formula. Why the SI unit like this? There's
Most
specific
importantly,
things,
you prepare before the class, before attending a class, whether a lecture class or whether a tuition class. That's a very good attitude, a learning attitude that every student should have. If you are aiming for A stars, in order to enter your Ivy League school.
Yeah.
And there are also students, right? Let's say their intake is September, right? Some of them actually ask for classes already, right? Way before that, just to get ahead, right? So is it hard to catch up? Like, let's say you get started earlier, or is actually
Everyone starts the same from IG. You from IG, she from IG, her from IG, everyone from IG. So no matter you starting late or early, you guys have the same foundations.
Yeah.
So it's the same.
I think the key determination is when is your for example, right? Like when do you enroll and when is your next examination? Right? Where's your next AS? Now that actually plays a very big factor, right? For example, let's say if you enroll in January, your AS is in May, June, that is impossible, right? I would say mission impossible. But let's say if January, October,
November.
that is best. Or let's say if you enroll September, your next exam May, June, that is okay.
Depends
It's like what we say just now, like 22
Yeah,
months.
it's like I would
is
say
ideal
the
lah.
time frame. Yeah, the time frame. And after your AS, when is your next A2? Yeah, for example, May, June, October, November, the same year, next A2. That is, I would say you are
18 months for that, right?
Yeah,
18 months, yeah.
Yeah,
You're pushing towards it, lah, but
it's,
if you're really putting effort into it, I would say okay. But if you're not those students that are always pushing yourself, you want to enjoy your life, at the same time you want to study, take your time, 22 months.
22 months.
Yeah.
I would say 1.5 year or 1.5 year.
1.5 year or maybe 1.5 year,
or 2 years.
roughly lah, or 2 years.
I heard from some uni, in college, they actually go for 1 year and 3 months. You have that?
No.
Yeah,
I know
I have
students from
1 year and 3 months. They are pushing it. I'm like, how? It's impossible.
Everything is possible.
Everything is possible.
Yeah, depends on how many sleep.
But we know students well, based on our years of
We know our
experience.
students well, right? I mean,
Yeah,
like,
based on the students and statistics that we can see lah, 1 year and 3 months, it seems possible, but a lot of effort needed.
I mean, like we were that age before. Like how much distraction we have.
And
Right.
now
By that time, it's not much lah. By the now, yeah,
No,
iPad
how much-
lah,
yeah,
this
iPad,
that
how much
lah.
no,
distraction
our
we have.
time the Wi-Fi is so bad.
Okay, what is the mistake that they should avoid? During A levels.
What about the opinion from you?
opinion
Yeah,
from
On
you.
this, since you guys, you are always asking us.
Miss
What
Yijun,
about opinion from you?
to conclude the final
Yeah, maybe
session.
let you conclude the whole thing.
Okay, basically I'm teaching A-levels accounting, and a lot of students actually tell me that they are forced to do it, or like a lot of times the parents say, okay, accountant has a very stable career,
Yeah.
things like, okay, it's not wrong, like, okay, but more importantly, right, okay, for sustainability, you know, or if you get the motivation to study, it's more importantly you have to have the passion in it. Okay, actually, in terms of business stream, right, okay, or art stream, there's actually very wide or a lot of choices. Like, it doesn't have to just limit to economics and accounting. There's so much more than that, you know, like finance and also management,
business,
marketing,
right.
so much more. So you just have to go and explore more options before you decided on a certain course or certain subject lah. Okay, and then lastly, I think a lot of tips from you guys in terms of, you know, how do we survive A-level, okay, how to strive. So again, the last motto for today is actually what? Everything is
Possible.
possible. Okay, so I think that's like the final conclusion now, alright? So let us know who you want us to invite for our next talk show, and make sure follow us on Instagram, VBest for more updates. So I think that's all for today.
Yeah,
Thank you
wonderful.
for taking your time, guys.
Thank you, Miss
Thank
Yijun.
you, Miss Edina.
Thank you, Miss Adina.
We love our Miss Edina.
Yeah, we love you.
Call
We love
her
you,
Miss
best.
Edina.
We love you, best.